In today's Mental Health Monday, a recent study found that people who judge negative feelings like sadness, fear, and anger as bad or inappropriate tend to feel less satisfied with their lives. 90s wellness expert Dr. Heather Hans joins us this morning to share how accepting your negative emotions could actually help. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. So talk to us about how the study, what it found, why this is a good thing.
It is. It's so important. So we all have different emotional reactions to things, but we also differ in how we think about and respond to our emotions. And the way that we judge our own emotions may have a bigger impact on mental health than the emotions themselves. And so this study found that people who negatively judge their negative emotions have worse mental health versus people who accept them more, and they have less anxiety and depression and a greater quality of life. So this really adds to growing research finding that accepting our unpleasant feelings as appropriate and natural is the healthy thing to do rather than try to fight them or sweep them under the rug.
Okay, but that's easier said than done. How do we go about even beginning to accept those negative emotions?
It absolutely is. So you want to lean into them rather than try to fight them, because let's say you have an important presentation to give and you're nervous about it, but then you get mad at yourself for lacking confidence, or you get impatient with your partner and then you get mad at yourself for that. Well, those judgments make you feel a lot worse. And this study also found that intense negative emotions do more damage to mental health than intense positive emotions help it.
Oh, okay.
So you lean into it and just tell yourself, I'm mad right now, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then another thing to do is view your positive emotions positively, which seems like a no-brainer, but so many people and so often we don't let ourselves be as happy as we could. You know, people learn that it's either selfish or irresponsible, or they've just gotten to be where stress is their mode of operation. And so, but studies have also found that people at the end of their lives wish that they had let themselves be happier. So you got to go for your joy and don't let the past control you.
Yeah. You wish that you let yourself have that obnoxious laugh that maybe somebody else criticized, but you love, personally.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then one last tip is that viewing your emotions positively helps you value them more, rather than when you view emotions as just foolish or irrational. That makes you judge them negatively, which hurts your mental health. So, and we tend to view positively what we value. So you got to value emotions. They're really important.
We often say there's no such thing as an unhealthy emotion. It's the reaction that comes from that, which can be unhealthy or healthy right there.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and it's interesting what you're talking about, that you kind of almost go into this toxic cycle of, well, now I feel bad about that. Well, now I feel bad about how I reacted. Well, now I feel bad.
It's never ending.
It's never ending. Well, where can we go if we want to start this process? Who can help us? Where can we find that, maybe online or something?
Yeah, so people can, well, one of the things that they found in this study, they looked at people's stress levels and their unique personality traits.
Okay.
And that impacted how they view their emotions. So working with a therapist or on your own to look at your personality, what makes you tick, can help you be more accepting of your emotional reactions to things. Because you're right, you don't want to stop people from being happy, so you shouldn't stop yourself from being sad. They're all just emotions and they're all okay.
All right, I like to hear that. Heather, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.